don't even know where to start this week. We'll be looking ahead to the trip with Middlesbrough on Saturday, but the main topic, of course, is going to be whether Neil Critchley should stay or go. There've been rumours that he's going to be sacked, but there's nothing concrete at the time that we record. This week, of course, it's been 2 home games and 2 more defeats. If I read out all the shocking stats about QPR right now, I'd be here all night. The headline one, of course, is it's 1 win in 17 games, 10 games without a win. Were the 2 defeats this week fair results, Dave?
Yeah, they were both very fair, weren't they? I mean, I thought both games we started all right. I wouldn't say we played well, but I thought we started okay and we looked like we had a chance. But as soon as we went behind in both games, and they're both calamitous goals in both games as well, the first goal. But they just heads go down. It's so poor, and you're seeing it like with last night. Laird didn't seem to fancy it. He was off at half time, wasn't he? And you won't see him for a few weeks now. It was just so poor. I mean, last night, it's going to take a while to go over last night. I mean, after the miss, I mean, people missed penalties. Least chair stood up to take it. It didn't seem to anyone else rushing to take it. But after he missed it, there was still 20 odd minutes to go, and offered absolutely nothing after that. Their heads had gone. I mean, it looked to me like they were trying to get sent off the last 10 minutes, so they didn't have to go to Middlesbrough Saturday. It's awful, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. You're right to highlight as well those last 10 minutes because it was almost like they were like Mark Hughes era levels of commitment. There was massive gaps between the players. Some of them were running around aimlessly. Others were not running at all. We had some of them, like you say, were trying to like side players down in frustration. Others didn't even look interested to make a challenge. It was grim. It really was, wasn't it? And someone made a really good point today that we were 2-0 down against Sunderland in the summer and had that fight to come back, and we drew 2-2 with 2 late goals. This was just a complete capitulation. It shows the difference in the team from the summer to now. It did feel to me that like they were no longer playing for the manager in that last little period of the game. How did you see that?
Yeah, I agree. I was saying, like, when we went 2 down last night, my son said to me, we come back when we was up there. I said to him, look, mate, we ain't coming back here. This is done. The third goal summed up for me. It was our own free kick. We took so long. Our chair was in acres of space for a short one. We took so long over it. They'd blocked that off. We just lumped it forward. 3 passes later, they'd scored. It's like, this is our free kick. How have you scored from our free kick when they had everyone back as well? It was pathetic. And yeah, I do think they've thrown the manager under the bus a bit last night. They weren't really playing for him at all, was they, towards the end? It seems inevitable now. The players have got to look at themselves. It's some of their performances are just not good enough. I'm fed up of some of them, to be honest. I don't want to see many of them again, but it's just so frustrating. We say every week how they've gone from that team in October to this. It beggars belief. I just can't believe it.
Yeah, I think he said in his interviews, hasn't he, that like in both after Millwall and Sunderland that we were okay in parts of the game, and he was like, I don't know if he used the words, he was like pleased with elements of the play, but despite that, you've got to look at both the games. We only had 4 shots on target across both games, and one of them was the penalty. So even if we were okay at times, we still aren't threatening. And to me, that's just something that he isn't rectifying as the manager. I mean, we've failed to score in 9 of the last 16 league games. It's literally verging on being staggering how bad we are going at the moment.
Yeah, I thought the only time I thought we could say, we've done all right, it was the last 10 minutes against Millwall when they just threw the ball in the box for 10 minutes. And we had a few corners and free kicks. They looked like they might create something. But that was just going route one and hope for the best. The rest, I mean, like, I thought we started okay. I'd say we started okay last night, but we never looked like scoring or anything. And soon, I mean, we basically threw one in our own net, haven't we, with the first goal last night? I mean, the defending for that goal, I couldn't. We were sat there watching it and all saying it. What are they doing setting up for this corner? They had our 3 best headers. Like, we had Dunn, Dickey, I can't remember, and Martin stood there marking no one, and we had like Dizelle on their centre half. It's like, you've worked on that in the training ground. Who has decided to put Dizelle on their centre half? And of course, he's just barged Dizelle off the ball and headed it, and they've scored. You think, who's come up with that idea that that's how you're going to defend a free kick? No wonder we concede from a set piece every week. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that is one of those elements where the manager has to be held accountable because someone's told them to set up that way. Because But sometimes I think as well as a professional footballer, why don't they say to it? Why doesn't Dozell at that point say, "Look, he's going to beat me in the air here. Someone
Yeah.
swap or something." I don't know. It literally does beg a belief what they're doing, and on every level, we are absolutely atrocious. If we focus in more on Critchley, whatever anyone's opinion of him is, there's no denying that his record as QPR manager is woeful. A 9% win rate, scored 8, conceded 18. He's got the worst record of a QPR manager in the first 10 games since Chris Ramsey. If it was a simple yes or no, do you personally want him to go? Do you think he should go?
Yes, I think he does need to go. It's a shame because I think if he'd have come in last summer, he might have done quite well, or even maybe come in this following summer. I think he'd be all right. He's just come at a difficult period. Too many players have down tools. There's too many. I mean, the amount of injuries we've got that seem to be unspecified. Like Tyler Roberts apparently, like on Friday, I saw in his pre-match that Critchley said, "Oh, he didn't feel ready to play." What do you mean you don't feel ready to play? You're being paid. Get out there. What's don't fancy it today. He has been let down by the players, no doubt about it, but he's not getting anything out of them. And I think the last straw for me last night was seeing him when he went 4-4-2 and put Sam Field as a right winger. I thought, oh, I don't know what you're doing here. You've lost me now. It's a shame, but that they need to do something because this team is going to get relegated. There's no doubt about it. That they can't win a game. I can't see where they're going to get a win from. And yeah, I just think that's going to be. It's a shame, but I think that's what they're going to need to do. I mean, God knows who they bring in, or if it'll get any better. But I do think they need to change it.
Yeah, I agree. I think he should go. Do you think he will go? I mean, like I said at the
Yeah,
start, as we're recording now, he's still in place. You think he'll
yeah,
go?
yeah. I think he will. I mean, I think they might give him Saturday because does anyone else fancy managing that one? They're going to lose it Middlesbrough. I know we're going to come on to that in a minute, but that looks a daunting prospect. Did I let him have that and get a new manager in for the Birmingham game? They should be today looking for the replacement. They should be working on it straight away. But yeah, I think he will go. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think they could be holding off because it's Middlesbrough. It's a little bit like when Burnley was coming to town and we
Yeah.
held off, didn't we? Because if we sack him, whoever's in charge for that is just on a hide into nothing straight away, and they're going to get off on the wrong foot with everybody. So it does make sense for him to potentially get another game. I'll hold my hands up. To me, he has gone. He should be gone. I think he needs to go. I know some people on our forum have even been pointing out that the players are to blame. He can only work with what he's got. But for me, it's his style and lack of motivation. And it may be harsh, but he just comes across as someone who probably is better suited to being a coach than the man in charge. I don't feel like he has the right character to rally the players. His interviews alone are uninspiring for the fans. What's he like in the dressing room? I feel like he needs to go in the car park and smash someone's car up or swipe the plates off the table when they're eating or something, just get angry with them. You just don't see any kind of reaction to him. And like you say, then he's looking out of his depth with substitutions and the way he was trying to change it around last night. We ended up in complete disarray. Like I said, on every level, it's just not going well. And there are different points of view, obviously, and maybe it's a tough one because we've only got 14 games left in the season. So for the board's point of view, I mean, you're saying there we're going to get relegated. They're maybe thinking that the odds are we're going to survive. Just think they're maybe trying to hold on that thing of if we stick with him, just get over the line and then reassess it in the summer. Is there possibly an element of that going on at boardroom level?
I think there probably was a week ago. I think there probably full week. Just pick. I mean, they got the points in the bag, so we still have got a little bit of a gap, and we've still got to play. I think we've got Rotherham away, Blackpool away, and Wigan away still to come. So you'd probably think if they get results in them three, you're probably all right. But that's just for me. These last two results and performances. I mean, I was reading today. This is the first time in our history we've lost 3-0 three times in a season.
At
I mean
home,
that at
yeah.
home, that's unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, and these defeats have come quite recently as well. It's I think they need to change it. It's been said before. A lot of the best QPR managers are normally like are motivators. Like a bit of a character about them. You look at your Warnocks, your Holloways, even like going back years and years to Terry Venables, people like that. They've got other attributes as well, but they're good at communicating, and Bill was very good at that when he was here. Bullshit baffles brain sometimes, doesn't it? But he just seems too quiet and too dull for it, and the players are just not responding to him. A lot of that is the fault of the players, but the players ain't going to change in the next 14 games, are they? You need someone to get something out of them.
Yeah, I mean, there's an argument I've seen on the forum as well about it depends if he's still in when anyone's watching this, but the question's still the same. What can he change and what could a new manager change? Because we're too reliant on the loan players. That's not his fault. And anyone who wants to change it up now, you're looking, and it's the likes of Gubbins if you want to play 3 at the back. If you want to make a change in midfield, it's Dixon Bonner was on the bench last night, and that was about his only option. It makes the hole that we're falling into feel even deeper when you think that we actually can't change much unless we get players back from injury.
Yeah, I mean, it's reminiscent. I mean, like, remember years ago when the year we went down under when Holloway come in, but there was really nothing he could change, and that was before the January transfer window. So he was able to sign a few players, but they were so far gone by then. It was not really much you can do, and the worry is it looks that way at the minute. There's good players in this side. We've seen them do good stuff before, but I just don't. I can't put my finger on what's happened. I think, who they bring in? Maybe it's Gareth Ainsworth was linked with him before. They'd have to pay compensation for him, so I don't know if that's even a goer, but I don't know if that's a possibility. Chris Wilder's been linked before. Again, probably too expensive. It's difficult to know where they go, isn't it?
It is, and an element of maybe why he potentially won't get sacked is they gave him a 3.5-year deal 2 months ago. So unless they've got some kind of break clause in that, like any normal person would have your probation period 3 months and you're not doing good enough or something, I don't know. But it seems like it's going to cost the club whichever way they try and go about things. There's another argument as well with some fans that the slide started under Beale, but I counter that by saying it doesn't look like it's ever going to stop under Critchley, and what a task he faces now on Saturday to try and turn it around. Because Middlesbrough, we'll move on to them, of course, they're flying. They've gone in completely the opposite direction to QPR in the season, haven't they? When we were top after beating Wigan, they were 21st on 17 points. Since then, we've picked up 9 points, and they've picked up 34. Again, just one of those stats that just beggars belief. And we're actually unbeaten in 7 games against Middlesbrough, but I think that might be one of the most irrelevant stats of the season because no way that's going to have any impact on their working towards the game. It's usually as well an entertaining match between the two sides, but I think it's only going to be entertaining on Saturday if you're wearing red, Dave.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're in a bit of a false position at the start of the season. Things just didn't seem to work under Wilder. I've just mentioned it was a possible for us, but he didn't do that well there. But yeah, you got to fancy Middlesbrough to win this, haven't you? They're absolutely flying at the minute, full of confidence. You never know. You can sometimes pull off a miracle result, but I cannot see it. If we can get out of there only losing by 3, I'll take that now. I think we're going to get a good hiding up there.
It does feel that way. I mean, I put up a stat today that Tuba Akpom scored 12 goals since we were top of the table, and QPR have scored 8. That's the whole squad. I think you could put him on the field on his own on Saturday, and they'd still be the favourites for the game. It's well quoted at the moment that if we can't beat the likes of Huddersfield, Cardiff, Fleetwood, we can't beat anybody at home. Are we going to beat Middlesbrough away? It's no, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I can't see it. Oh yeah, I think comfortable home win over the forward the weekend. Hopefully I'm wrong, but can't see anything else.
I think it would be the shock of the season if we even get a point. And I can't believe we're getting to this level where we're saying stuff like that. But I mean, I said last week that Millwall and Sunderland were better than us right now, and Middlesbrough are even better than them. So how we're going to get points, I just can't see it. Good luck, Neil Critchley or whoever's in charge. That's what I would say. Do share your comments on the frankly embarrassing situation QPR worked themselves into on our forum or on YouTube. Join us again next week. God knows what the situation will be then. We'll be previewing the match against Blackburn. Thank you for watching, and come on your arse.
We know who we are. You know who we are. We are QPR.